Unexpected encounter. The vastness of space stretched before Captain Elara Chen as she guided her small exploration vessel, the Stargazer, through an uncharted sector of the galaxy. Elara had always been drawn to the unknown, driven by an insatiable curiosity that led her to volunteer for solo missions into the cosmic frontier. Her weathered hands danced across the control panel, making minute adjustments to the ship's course as she navigated around a field of asteroids. A sudden alarm blared through the cockpit, startling Elara from her focused state. She quickly scanned the readouts, her eyes widening as she registered an unexpected energy signature emanating from a nearby planetoid. It wasn't the usual electromagnetic noise of space. This was a structured signal, weak but unmistakably artificial. "Computer, analyze the signal," Elara commanded, her heart racing with excitement and apprehension. The ship's AI responded in its calm, modulated voice. "Analysis complete. Signal matches no known human or allied species communication protocols. Origin appears to be a small spacecraft on the surface of the planetoid." Elara's mind raced with possibilities. First contact, a lost civilization, or perhaps something more sinister. Her training urged caution, but her adventurous spirit pushed her towards investigation. After a moment's hesitation, she made her decision. "Computer, plot a course for landing near the signal source. Initiate full sensor sweep and engage stealth protocols." As the Stargazer descended through the planetoid's thin atmosphere, Elara caught her first glimpse of the alien craft. It was sleek and organic in design, unlike anything in the human fleet. The vessel appeared to be damaged, with a large gash along its side exposing internal systems that pulsed with an eerie blue light. Elara set her ship down a safe distance away and donned her exosuit. The planetoid's atmosphere was breathable but thin, and the suit's systems would help her navigate the lower gravity. With a deep breath, she sicked the airlock and stepped out onto the rocky surface. As she approached the alien ship, Elara's suit sensors picked up faint life signs from within. She activated her universal translator and opened a general frequency on her comm system. "This is Captain Elara Chen of the Earth Exploration Corps. I've detected your distress signal and am here to offer assistance. Please respond if you can understand me." For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, a series of clicks and whistles emanated from the ship, quickly resolving into words through her translator. "Help, trapped, systems failing." Elara's training kicked in as she assessed the situation. The alien craft's airlock was jammed, but her suit's plasma cutter could make short work of it. "I'm going to cut my way in," she broadcast. "Please move away from the outer hull if you can." With steady hands, Elara carved an opening large enough to squeeze through. As she entered the alien vessel, her suit's lights illuminated a scene of chaos. Panels hung loose from the walls, and strange fluids pooled on the floor. In the center of what appeared to be the main cabin, a figure lay slumped over a console. Elara rushed to the alien's side, her medical scanner already assessing its condition. The being was humanoid but clearly not human. Its skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, and delicate, fin-like appendages adorned its head and arms. The alien's eyes fluttered open, revealing pupils that seemed to swirl with galaxies. "Easy there," Elara said softly, her translator converting her words. "I'm here to help. Can you tell me your name and what happened?" The alien's gaze focused on Elara, a mix of relief and wariness in its expression. "I am Zaravex of the Lizari. My ship malfunctioned during warp. Emergency protocols brought me here, but systems are beyond repair." Elara nodded, her mind already working on solutions. "All right, Zaravex. I'm going to get you out of here and to my ship. We can tend to your injuries there and figure out our next steps. Can you move?" Zaravex attempted to stand but faltered, nearly collapsing before Elara caught them. "My strength fades," the alien whispered. "I've got you," Elara assured, activating her suit's enhanced strength mode to support Zaravex's weight. Together, they made their way out of the damaged ship and across the planetoid's surface to the stargazer. Once inside Elara's ship, she helped Zara Vex onto a medical bed in the small infirmary. The alien's condition stabilized quickly with the introduction of a breathable atmosphere and proper medical care. As color returned to Zara Vex's shimmering skin, Elara found herself captivated by the being's otherworldly beauty. "Thank you, Captain Chen," Zara Vex said, their voice stronger now. "You have saved my life. By the laws of my people, I am now bound to you." Elara blinked in surprise. "Bound to me? I'm not sure I understand." Zara Vex's expression was solemn as they explained. "In Lissari culture, to save a life is to take responsibility for it. You owe me now, human. My skills, my knowledge, my very being, all are yours to command." Elara felt a wave of unease wash over her. This was far beyond the scope of any first contact protocol she had trained for. "Zara Vex, I appreciate the sentiment, but in human culture, we don't own other sentient beings. I helped you because it was the right thing to do, not to gain anything in return." The alien's brow furrowed in confusion. "But without this bond, how do your people form alliances, ensure loyalty, define relationships?" "We do those things through trust, mutual respect, and free will," Elara explained patiently. "No one owns anyone else. We choose to help, to be loyal, to form relationships." Zara Vex was quiet for a moment, processing this information. "Your ways are strange to me, Captain Chen, but I am curious to learn more. Perhaps we can find a middle ground between our cultures." Elara smiled, relieved that the alien was open to discussion. "I'd like that, Zara Vex, and please call me Elara. Now, why don't you tell me more about your people and how you ended up here?" As Zara Vex began to share their story, Elara settled in to listen, her mind racing with the implications of this encounter. She had set out to explore the unknown, and now the unknown had quite literally crashed into her life. Whatever came next, she knew that her journey had taken an unexpected and thrilling turn. The stargazer's computer chimed softly, interrupting their conversation. "Captain, long-range sensors have detected an anomaly approaching this system. Estimated time of arrival, 48 hours. Elara frowned, moving to the nearest console to review the data. The anomaly was massive, unlike anything she had encountered before. As she studied the readings, a chill ran down her spine. Whatever was coming, it didn't seem friendly. She turned back to Zara Vex, her expression grave. "It looks like our time to get acquainted might be cut short. There's something heading our way, and I have a feeling we're going to need each other to face what's coming." Zara Vex's eyes swirled with intensity as they met Elara's gaze. "Then face it together we shall, Elara. Owner or not, you have my allegiance. Let us prepare for whatever the cosmos brings our way." As the two beings from different worlds began to plan, the stars outside the stargazer's viewport seemed to dim, as if holding their breath for the challenges that lay ahead. The unexpected encounter on a lonely planetoid was about to become the catalyst for an adventure that would test the limits of both human determination and alien wisdom. Cosmic chess. The stargazer hummed with nervous energy as Elara and Zara Vex worked feverishly to prepare for the approaching anomaly. The ship's small bridge had become a war room, holographic displays flickering with data streams and simulations. "Elara, I've analyzed the anomaly's energy signature," Zara Vex announced, their iridescent fingers dancing across an alien interface jury-rigged to the human systems. "It bears similarities to an ancient weapon my people call the Void Hammer." Elara's eyebrows shot up. "Void Hammer. Sounds ominous. What can you tell me about it?" Zara Vex's eyes swirled with dark patterns, a sign Elara had learned indicated worry. "It's a planet killer, capable of collapsing space-time itself. But it was supposed to be a myth, a cautionary tale told to younglings." "Well, myths have a way of becoming reality out here in the black," Elara muttered, studying the readouts. "Any ideas on how to stop it?" The alien's head fins rippled in thought. "Perhaps." The void hammer operates on principles of quantum entanglement. If we could disrupt its core matrix, we might be able to diffuse it before it reaches any populated systems, Ilara finished, a spark of hope igniting in her chest. As they delved deeper into strategizing, the differences in their thought processes became apparent. Ilara approached problems with a mix of intuition and methodical analysis, while Zaravex relied on complex multidimensional reasoning that often left Ilara's head spinning. "Your human brain is remarkably adaptable," Zaravex observed during a rare break. "You grasp concepts that took my people generations to comprehend." Ilara chuckled, stretching her cramped muscles. "Thanks, I think. Though I feel like I'm playing multidimensional chess while blindfolded half the time." Zaravex's skin shimmered with amusement, an apt analogy. In fact, they paused, head fins twitching with excitement. "That gives me an idea." The alien quickly explained a daring plan. By using the Stargazer's warp drive in conjunction with Lizari quantum technology salvaged from Zaravex's ship, they might be able to create a localized bubble of altered space-time. Within this bubble, they could potentially outmaneuver the void hammer, approaching it from angles that should be physically impossible. "It's risky," Ilara mused, running simulations. "One miscalculation and we could end up scattered across multiple dimensions." Zaravex nodded solemnly. "True, but the alternative is to watch worlds die. I cannot bear that burden. Can you?" Ilara met the alien's swirling gaze, seeing her own determination reflected back. "No, I can't. Let's do this." The next hours were a blur of activity. Ilara pushed the Stargazer's systems to their limits, rerouting power and reprogramming core functions. Meanwhile, Zaravex worked tirelessly to integrate that alien tech, their bodies glowing with bioluminescent sweat as they pushed themselves to exhaustion. As the deadline approached, Ilara found a moment to voice a concern that had been nagging at her. "Zaravex, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest." The alien paused their work, giving Ilara their full attention. "Of course, Ilara. What troubles you?" "This void hammer, is there any chance it could be Lizari in origin? I'm not accusing you of anything, but the coincidence of you crash-landing here just before it appears." Zaravex was quiet for a long moment, their skin pulsing with complex patterns. "Your suspicion is not unwarranted," they finally said. "The truth is, I don't know. My mission was to investigate rumors of an awakening superweapon. I had hoped they were false." Ilara nodded, relieved by the alien's candor. "Thank you for being honest. Whatever happens, we're in this together now." As the final preparations were made, alarms blared throughout the ship. The anomaly had arrived ahead of schedule, its massive form distorting the very fabric of space around it. "It's now or never," Ilara announced, strapping herself into the pilot's seat. "Zaravex, are you ready?" The alien took their place at the jury-rigged console, their body pulsing with nervous energy. As ready as one can be when attempting to rewrite the laws of physics. Ilara grinned despite the gravity of the situation. "That's the spirit," initiating warp bubble in 3, 2, 1. The Stargazer shuddered as reality itself seemed to twist around it. Through the viewscreen, Ilara watched in awe as stars bent and stretched, forming impossible patterns. They were flying through a realm where the normal rules of space and time no longer applied. As they approached the void hammer, its true scale became apparent. It was a construct of dark energy and exotic matter, shaped like a colossal maw poised to shatter worlds. At its core, a swirling vortex of antimatter pulsed with malevolent purpose. "Ilara, we have a problem," Zaravex called out, their voice tight with stress. "The weapon's defenses are adapting to our presence. They're trying to collapse our warp bubble." Warning lights flashed across the Stargazer's controls as the ship bucked and heaved. Ilara's hands flew across the console, making split-second adjustments to keep them from being torn apart by the conflicting forces. "We need to get closer to the core," she shouted over the groaning of stressed metal. "Can you give me more power to the shields?" Zarevex's fingers blurred as they rerouted energy. "Done, but we can't sustain this for long. Our molecular cohesion is already beginning to destabilize." Ilara gritted her teeth, pushing the ship harder. They were so close now, the core of the void hammer filling their view. "Just a little more." Suddenly, a beam of concentrated energy lashed out from the weapon, slicing through their failing shields. Alarms screamed as systems overloaded. "Zarevex, we're losing containment," Ilara yelled, fighting to keep the ship together through sheer force of will. "We need to abort." But the alien didn't respond. Ilara turned to see Zarevex's body glowing with an intense light, their eyes swirling pools of cosmic energy. "What are you doing?" Ilara demanded, fear and awe mingling in her voice. Zarevex's voice seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Fulfilling my purpose, Ilara. Thank you for showing me what it means to choose one's own path." Before Ilara could react, tendrils of energy erupted from Zarevex's body, enveloping the ship and stretching out towards the void hammer's core. The alien's form began to dissolve, becoming one with the energy field. "No," Ilara cried, reaching out futilely. "There has to be another way." Zarevex's voice echoed in her mind one last time. "There isn't. But don't mourn, Ilara. This is not an ending, but a transformation. Remember me, and know that the bonds between us transcend ownership, transcend species, transcend even life and death." With a final surge of power, Zarevex's energy merged with the void hammer's core. For a moment, everything went silent and still. Then, with a soundless explosion, the weapon began to implode, collapsing in on itself. The stargazer was caught in the backlash, systems failing as it was hurled through twisted spacetime. Ilara clung to consciousness, her last thoughts of the alien who had sacrificed everything to save countless worlds. As darkness claimed her, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't the end of her journey with Zarevex, but merely the beginning of something far greater than either of them could have imagined. The stargazer tumbled through the void, carrying within it the seed of a legend that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of heroism, sacrifice, and the true meaning of unity in the face of cosmic threats. Quantum echoes. Consciousness returned to Ilara in waves, each bringing with it a new sensation: the acrid smell of burned circuitry, the taste of copper in her mouth, the dull ache that seemed to permeate every cell of her body. As her eyes fluttered open, she found herself staring at the emergency lights of the Stargazer's bridge, bathing everything in an eerie red glow. "Computer, status report," she croaked, her voice hoarse. The ship's air responded, its usual calm voice tinged with static. "Multiple systems compromised. Life support at 62% capacity. Warp drive offline. Current location unknown." Ilara dragged herself to her feet, wincing at the protest of her battered body. As she stumbled to the main console, the memories of what had transpired came flooding back. The void hammer. The desperate plan. Zarevex's sacrifice. "Zarevex," she whispered, a lump forming in her throat. The alien's final moments played over in her mind, their body dissolving into pure energy to save countless worlds. It seemed impossible that someone she had known for such a short time could have left such a profound impact. As Ilara began the arduous process of assessing the damage to her ship, a strange phenomenon caught her eye. Ghostly afterimages seemed to flicker at the edge of her vision, disappearing whenever she tried to focus on them directly. At first, she dismissed it as a side effect of their harrowing journey through warped space-time. But as the occurrences became more frequent, she couldn't shake the feeling that something fundamental had changed. "Computer, run a full spectral analysis of the bridge. Focus on any anomalous energy signatures," Ilara commanded, her scientific curiosity overriding her exhaustion. The results made her breath catch in her throat. The entire ship was awash in exotic particles, remnants of their encounter with the void hammer. But more intriguingly, there were patterns in the quantum fluctuations, almost like Echoes, Ilara murmured, her mind racing. Computer, cross-reference these patterns with Zorovex's biosignature. The A's response was unprecedented. Analysis complete. Correlation found, 89.7% match to Zorovex's quantum resonance frequency. Ilara's heart pounded. Could it be possible? Had Zorovex's sacrifice not been an end, but a transformation? She remembered the alien's final words. This is not an ending, but a transformation. With trembling hands, Ilara activated the ship's holographic interface. Computer, attempt to coalesce the quantum echoes into a visible form. The air before her shimmered, particles of light swirling and condensing. Slowly, a familiar shape began to take form. Iridescent skin, fin-like appendages, eyes that seemed to contain galaxies. Zorovex stood before her, translucent and flickering, but undeniably present. Ilara, the apparition spoke, its voice a whisper on the edge of perception. You've done it. You found me. Ilara reached out instinctively, her hand passing through the holographic form. Zorovex, how is this possible? We saw you. I thought you were gone. The alien's form rippled, as if caught in an unseen breeze. In a sense I was. But the energies of the Void Hammer, combined with the unique properties of our warp bubble, created something unprecedented. I exist now as a quantum ghost, my consciousness spread across multiple dimensions. As Ilara struggled to process this information, alarms blared throughout the ship. Warning, the computer announced. Unknown vessels approaching. Hostile intent detected. Ilara rushed to the view screen, her blood running cold at the sight that greeted her. A fleet of ships, unlike any she had ever seen, was bearing down on the Stargazer. Their hulls seemed to shift and morph, defying the laws of physics. The architects, Zorovex's holographic form whispered, fear evident in their voice. The creators of the Void Hammer. They must have detected its destruction and traced us here. Ilara's mind raced. The Stargazer was in no condition for a fight, and even if it were, they were hopelessly outgunned. We need options, Zorovex. Can your new form help us? The alien's eyes swirled with intense concentration. Perhaps. My consciousness now exists partially in the same dimensional space as their technology. I might be able to interface with their systems, but it would be incredibly risky. Riskier than facing that fleet head-on? Ilara asked, arching an eyebrow. Zorovex's form flickered with what might have been a smile. Point taken. I'll need you to modify the ship's quantum entanglement array. We're going to attempt something that's never been done before. As the hostile fleet drew nearer, Ilara worked feverishly, following Zorovex's instructions to reconfigure the Stargazer's systems. The plan was audacious. They would use the ship as a conduit, allowing Zorovex to project their consciousness directly into the architect's network. It's ready, Ilara announced, her fingers hovering over the activation switch. Zorovex, are you sure about this? If something goes wrong. The holographic alien met her gaze, their eyes filled with determination. Ilara, you taught me that true bonds transcend ownership. Now, let me show you how they can transcend even the boundaries of existence itself. With a nod, Ilara activated the array. Zorovex's form began to glow intensely, streams of data and energy flowing between the hologram and the ship's systems. The view screen flickered, showing flashes of alien code and impossible geometries as Zorovex battled the architects in the digital realm. Ilara watched in awe as the approaching fleet began to falter. Ships collided, their morphing hulls twisting into useless shapes. Others simply winked out of existence, banished to distant dimensions by Zorovex's quantum manipulations. But the strain was evident. Zorovex's holographic form was becoming unstable, flickering violently as they pushed themselves to the limit. Ilara, they gasped, their voice distorted. I can't maintain this for much longer. You need to get out of here. I'm not leaving you, Ilara insisted, her hands flying over the controls as she prepared the battered stargazer for a desperate escape. Zaravex's form solidified for a moment, their eyes meeting Ilara's with an intensity that transcended their holographic nature. "You're not leaving me. I'll always be with you, Ilara. Now go before it's too late." With a heavy heart, Ilara engaged the stargazer's emergency warp drive. As the ship leaped into faster-than-light travel, she caught a final glimpse of the battlefield. The Architect's fleet was in chaos, but a massive energy buildup suggested they were preparing a final devastating attack. Zaravex's hologram gave Ilara one last smile before dissolving into a shower of light, merging with the ship's systems. The viewscreen went white as a shockwave of unimaginable power overtook them. When Ilara's vision cleared, she found the stargazer drifting in an unfamiliar star system. The ship's systems were barely functioning, but they were alive. And more importantly, they were free. As she began the process of assessing their situation, Ilara noticed something strange. The ship's computer was operating with unprecedented efficiency, processing data faster than should have been possible, and occasionally, just at the edge of her perception, she could swear she saw a flicker of iridescent light. "Zaravex," she whispered, hope and wonder mingling in her voice. There was no response, at least not in words, but as the stargazer's systems came back online one by one, faster than any human technology should have allowed, Ilara knew she wasn't alone. Their journey was far from over. The Architects were still out there, and the galaxy now faced a threat few could comprehend. But as Ilara plotted a course for the nearest human outpost, she felt a sense of purpose stronger than any she'd ever known. She and Zaravex had transcended the boundaries of species, of life and death, of reality itself. Together, they would face whatever the cosmos had in store, their bond a testament to the power of unity in the face of cosmic adversity. As the stargazer limped through space, its systems pulsing with an otherworldly energy, Ilara couldn't help but smile. The universe, it seemed, had only just begun to reveal its strangest and most wondrous secrets. Singularity Nexus. The stargazer emerged from hyperspace with a shudder, its hull groaning under the strain of faster-than-light travel. Ilara's eyes widened as she took in the sight before her. Instead of the familiar space station she had been aiming for, the ship had arrived at what could only be described as a cosmic anomaly. A massive structure floated in the void, its architecture defying conventional physics. It was a sprawling nexus of crystalline spires and pulsating energy fields, all orbiting a central sphere that seemed to bend light around it. This was no human or known alien construction. It was something entirely new. "Zaravex," Ilara whispered, her fingers hovering over the ship's controls. "Are you seeing this?" The ship's systems flickered in response, and a holographic representation of Zaravex materialized beside her. The alien's form was more stable now, but still translucent and shimmering with quantum energy. "I see it, Ilara," Zaravex replied, their voice filled with awe. "This is unprecedented. It appears to be a singularity nexus, a theoretical construct capable of manipulating the fabric of reality itself." Ilara's scientific curiosity warred with her caution. "Is it natural or artificial?" "Both, and neither," Zaravex answered cryptically. "It exists in a state of quantum superposition, simultaneously the product of advanced technology and a natural phenomenon. The Architects must have been searching for this." Before Ilara could respond, the stargazer was bathed in a brilliant beam of energy emanating from the nexus. Alarms blared as the ship's systems went haywire, displays flickering with impossible data. "We're being scanned," Ilara announced, her hands flying over the controls in an attempt to stabilize their systems. And, wait, is that a transmission? A voice echoed through the ship, unlike anything Ilara had ever heard. It was a chorus of tones and frequencies, somehow coalescing into understandable speech. "Greetings, travelers. You stand at the threshold of the singularity nexus, the convergence point of all realities. Your arrival has been anticipated. Ilara exchanged a glance with Zarovek's hologram. Anticipated by whom? The voice continued, unperturbed. By the Nexus itself. You, Ilara Chen of Earth, and you, Zarovex of the Lissari, now existing as a quantum consciousness. Your journey has reshaped the cosmic tapestry in ways you cannot yet comprehend. The main view screen came to life, displaying a mesmerizing visualization of intertwining timelines and parallel universes. Ilara watched in awe as she saw echoes of their adventures playing out across multiple realities. The bond you have forged, the Nexus explained, a union of organic and quantum, of different species and modes of existence, has created a unique resonance. This resonance has the potential to either stabilize or unravel the multiverse. Zarovek's hologram flickered with intensity. The architects, they sought to weaponize this potential, didn't they? Correct, the Nexus confirmed. The architects are but one faction in a multiversal conflict. There are those who seek to preserve the boundaries between realities, and those who wish to merge all existence into a single controllable continuum. Ilara's mind reeled at the implications. And where do we fit into all this? The energy beam enveloping the stargazer pulsed, and Ilara felt a strange sensation, as if her consciousness was expanding beyond the confines of her body. Beside her, Zarovek's hologram grew more solid, taking on an almost physical presence. You stand at a crossroads, the Nexus intoned. Your actions here will determine the fate of not just your reality, but all realities. The Singularity Nexus offers you a choice. 3 shimmering portals materialized before them, each showing a different potential future. The first portal showed a universe of perfect order, where the boundaries between species and even individual beings had dissolved. Unity through conformity, the Nexus explained. All conflict ended, but at the cost of individual identity. The second portal displayed a chaotic multiverse, realities bleeding into one another in a kaleidoscope of infinite possibility. Absolute freedom, the Nexus continued, but with the risk of total cosmic entropy. The third portal was different. It showed neither perfect order nor chaos, but a dynamic balance. Diverse beings and civilizations coexisted, facing challenges but growing stronger through cooperation. The path of conscious evolution, the Nexus said. Difficult, uncertain, but with the potential for true harmony. Ilara and Zarovek stood side by side, organic and quantum, human and alien, facing a decision that would reshape existence itself. The choice is yours, the Nexus concluded. But know that whatever path you choose, it must be chosen together. Your unique bond is the key to unlocking the Nexus power. Ilara turned to Zarovex, seeing the weight of this moment reflected in the alien's swirling eyes. What do you think? She asked softly. Zarovek's holographic form shimmered with emotion. In my existence as a Lissari, I believed in the power of predestined bonds. As a quantum consciousness, I've seen the infinite possibilities of choice. But it's through knowing you, Ilara, that I've learned the true strength of freely chosen connections. Ilara nodded, a smile tugging at her lips despite the gravity of the situation. Together then, facing the unknown, just like we always have. Together, Zarovex agreed. As one, they stepped towards the third portal. The moment their forms made contact with the shimmering surface, a surge of energy unlike anything they had ever experienced coursed through them. Ilara felt her consciousness expanding, merging with Zarovex in a union of organic and quantum. Their memories, thoughts, and very essence intertwined, creating something entirely new yet familiar. Through their shared perception, they saw the multiverse unfold before them. They witnessed the birth and death of stars, the rise and fall of civilizations across countless realities. They felt the delicate balance of forces that held existence together and understood their role in maintaining that balance. As their merged consciousness interfaced with the Singularity Nexus, they began to reshape reality itself, not through brute force or rigid control, but through subtle adjustments, nurturing the conditions for cooperation and growth across the multiverse. The architects and other factions who sought to dominate reality found their powers waning, their influence diminished by the new cosmic paradigm Elara and Zara Vex were creating. When the process was complete, Elara found herself back on the bridge of the Stargazer, Zara Vex's hologram beside her, but everything had changed. They were different now, forever altered by their experience with the Nexus. "It's done," Zara Vex said softly, their voice carrying echoes of the cosmos. Elara nodded, feeling the weight of their actions settling upon her. What now? The view screen came to life, showing a galaxy teeming with new possibilities. Civilizations that had once been at war were now reaching out to one another. Beings of energy and matter were finding new ways to cooperate. The boundaries between realities remained, but they were more permeable, allowing for exchange and growth. "Now," Zara Vex replied, a smile in their voice, "we explore, we learn, we help guide this new multiverse towards its potential." As the Stargazer's engines hummed to life, powered by energies they were only beginning to understand, Elara felt a sense of purpose and wonder greater than anything she had ever known. "Ready for another adventure?" she asked, her hand hovering over the ship's controls. Zara Vex's hologram solidified further, taking on an almost physical presence as it stood beside her. "Always," they replied. Together, the human explorer and the quantum alien consciousness set course for the unknown, their journey a testament to the power of choice, connection, and the endless possibilities born when different worlds come together. As the Stargazer leaped into the new, vibrant multiverse they had helped create, Elara and Zara Vex knew that their greatest adventures were still to come. The cosmos, in all its infinite wonder, awaited cosmic synthesis. The Stargazer glided through the transformed multiverse, its hull shimmering with the iridescent energies of countless realities. Elara stood at the helm, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that defied conventional physics. Beside her, Zara Vex's form flickered between states of matter and energy, a visual representation of their new existence as a quantum organic hybrid. Elara, undetecting an anomaly in Sector Gamma 9, Zara Vex announced, their voice resonating with harmonic overtones. "It appears to be a nexus of converging timelines." Elara's eyes lit up with curiosity. "Sounds like the perfect place to test our new abilities. Set a course, partner." As they approached the anomaly, the view screen exploded with a kaleidoscope of fractalized realities. Entire galaxies birthed and died in the span of seconds, civilizations rose and fell like cosmic waves. "Incredible," Elara breathed, her enhanced senses drinking in the spectacle. "It's like watching the entire history of the universe unfold simultaneously." Zara Vex's form coalesced into a more humanoid shape, their eyes swirling with star fields. "Not just history, Elara. We're seeing potential futures, alternate pasts, and parallel presents. This nexus is a crucible of creation and destruction." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. The fabric of space-time around them began to warp and twist, threatening to tear the Stargazer apart. "The nexus is destabilizing," Elara shouted, her hands flying over the controls. "We need to contain it before it ruptures the boundaries between realities." Zara Vex's form expanded, merging with the ship's systems. "I'll channel the quantum flux through our engines. Elara, you need to synchronize our consciousness with the Nexus. It's the only way to stabilize it." Without hesitation, Elara closed her eyes and opened her mind. The barriers between her thoughts and the cosmic energies surrounding them dissolved. She felt Zara Vex's presence intertwining with her own, their shared consciousness expanding to encompass the chaotic nexus. Together, they began to weave the fraying threads of reality back together. Elara's human intuition and creativity combined with Zara Vex's multidimensional understanding, creating patterns of cosmic harmony that rippled through the nexus. As they worked, Elara glimpsed fragments of countless lives and worlds. She saw versions of herself and Zara Vex in 1,000 different realities, some where they never met, others where their roles were reversed, and still others where they existed as entirely different beings. Zoravex, Ilara called out through their mental link. I think I understand now. We're not just observers or guardians. We're connectors, bridging the gaps between realities. Yes, Zoravex's thoughts resonated back, and in doing so, we're creating something entirely new, a cosmic synthesis. With a final surge of effort, they brought the nexus under control. The chaotic energies coalesced into a brilliant sphere of swirling light, pulsing with the rhythm of a newborn universe. As Ilara and Zoravex withdrew their consciousness back to the stargazer, they found themselves forever changed. Their bond had deepened beyond anything they could have imagined, and their understanding of the cosmos had expanded exponentially. What do you think it is? Ilara asked, gesturing to the stabilized nexus on the view screen. Zoravex's form shimmered with excitement. If I'm not mistaken, we've just witnessed the birth of a new type of cosmic entity, a living multiverse, conscious and self-aware. As if in response to their words, the sphere of light pulsed and a voice echoed through the ship, not in words, but in pure concepts and emotions. Gratitude, wonder, curiosity. Ilara and Zoravex exchanged glances, their eyes filled with awe and a touch of trepidation. Well, Ilara said with a nervous laugh, I guess we're parents now. To a baby universe. Zoravex's form rippled with amusement. Indeed, and I suspect our adventures are about to take an even more unexpected turn. The newborn cosmic entity began to grow, tendrils of energy reaching out to explore its surroundings. As it did, Ilara and Zoravex felt a pull, not physical, but a tugging at the very core of their beings. It wants us to guide it, Zoravex realized, to show it the wonders of existence. Ilara nodded, a smile spreading across her face. Then let's give it a proper tour of the multiverse. After all, who better to show a newborn cosmos the ropes than a human explorer and a quantum alien? With a shared thought, they directed the stargazer into the embrace of the cosmic entity. The ship's hull merged with the swirling energies, becoming a part of the living multiverse. As they embarked on this new phase of their journey, Ilara and Zoravex knew that they stood at a threshold of discoveries beyond imagination. They were no longer merely travelers or guardians. They were nurturers of nascent realities, midwives to the birth of new dimensions. The stargazer, now a vessel of cosmic creation, soared into the unknown. Ilara and Zoravex, their consciousnesses intertwined with each other and their newborn ward, prepared to explore the greatest frontier yet, the uncharted realms of a universe learning to dream. As they vanished into a dazzling portal of their own creation, the echoes of their journey rippled across the multiverse. In countless realities, beings looked to the stars with renewed wonder, feeling the first stirrings of a grand cosmic awakening. The adventure that had begun with an unexpected encounter between a human and an alien had blossomed into something far greater, a saga of love, discovery, and the infinite potential born when different worlds come together. And somewhere in the vast tapestry of existence, a new story was just beginning to unfold.